So we've just talked about list views and array adapters. So here's the visual representation and what really goes on behind the scenes. Because as I said before, we have these three separate entities. So first of all, we'll have what we call the data, right? In this case, we could have an array string or a list, array list, or whatever that is, we have it as our data source, okay? But in order for us to show this data source as a list view, as we saw before, we need to pass through an adapter, because at this point here, this data source means nothing to our Android system, which means it cannot just take that automatically and put it on the screen. So we have to actually format this data through what we call an array adapter or an adapter of some sort, okay? So an adapter in the real world is something that adapts A, so item A, into item B or C. Okay, so it is the liaison that allows this communication, these translations, if you will. In this case, the same thing happens. We pass through our string array or our data source through this adapter, which will know how to get all of these strings, all this data, and make it so that it's presentable to our user interface. So then we can actually see the items. So this architecture here is very important because it allows us to understand how things work when we're talking about list views in Android. And subsequently, we're going to be talking about a recycle view. So the same architecture, the same paradigm is going to be used as well.